On this episode of Inside Discovery, we get a behind-the-scenes look at Revolution Ridge, the exciting new expansion at the Science Center, furthering their mission of conservation and education. Then we'll get a preview of what will surely be this holiday season's must-see event, Winter Wonderlights. And we'll swing by Discovery House to see the new exhibit for the Science Center's lovable Rhino Iguana. But first, let's take a spin on the beautiful Rotary Club of Greensboro Carousel, which recently opened to the public.
The Rotary Club Carousel here at the Greensboro Science Center opened on August the 24th for Greensboro Science Center members and August the 26th for the general public. There have been many organizations that helped here with the carousel. It's not only the Greensboro Science Center, but Country Park and the BPD, which is the Battleground Parks District, and the Rotary Club of Greensboro, who gifted this to the Greensboro community as a whole. This carousel is located here at Country Park. It is not here at the Greensboro Science Center and does not require admission to the Science Center to enjoy. We have 56 different animals on the carousel, not just horses. This is classified as a menagerie carousel, which means we have animals, not only fantasy-style animals, such as our unicorn. We also have animals there that represent local colleges and animals that represent the Science Center itself. This carousel is fully ADA compliant. We have 2 of our carriages, which can be used for anyone in a wheelchair. All we have to do to be able to do that is pull out the ramp. We'll be able to move them in and get them to be comfortable. Anyone in a wheelchair will be able to enjoy this ride. In our current COVID safety procedures, what we are doing is we will clean this ride between every single time that we use it. We're currently using only 21 of 56 animals, which helps promote social distancing. That way, those animals are over 6 feet apart if you choose only the animals we designate. Also, during that cleaning process, we will clean once an hour. We will clean every single animal on the carousel, not just the ones that were ridden. Oh, the reaction by the guests. Everyone has waited a very long time for this carousel, and they're so happy that it's finally come about. They love how beautiful it is, that how much history that is portrayed here on the carousel itself, and they just love to be able to finally get a chance to ride. I just love the amount of children who get to come and finally how much enjoyment they get and get to see that these wonderful animals that they finally get to ride and love so very much. Currently, our hours are 9 to 5, but starting on November 6th, we'll be taking part in Winter Wonderlights here at the Greensboro Science Center. Included with your admission will be a free ride on the carousel. Ticket prices start at $2 for general admission and $1 for Greensboro Science Center members. But you do not have to be a member or even have an admission ticket to the Science Center to come down here and enjoy this carousel. We're so happy that it's finally here and what it's going to bring to the parks, to the Battleground Park District itself, and help really bring tourism to this area. It's going to be amazing when everything is finally done here at the BPD.
The Greensboro Science Center's digital storytellers have been hard at work putting together a truly unique and one-of-its-kind experience for visitors this holiday season with Winter Wonderlights.
Winter Wonderlights is going to be the very first year of a brand new holiday tradition at the Greensboro Science Center that we're looking forward to making available to Greensboro and to the communities around. It's going to be unique. Nothing like it has been seen in this area. I think people will be astonished by it. It's going to use the very latest in cutting-edge light technology to help people find inside themselves those most time-honored and tested and true holiday feelings of warmth and wonder. GES Events is a big, well-respected company that puts together shows, exhibits, and large exhibitions. They're respected all over the world. As a matter of fact, they've brought to life the movie worlds of blockbusters like Avatar and Harry Potter and the Sherlock Holmes series of films. So they're well regarded in the industry. They also, more to our point, put together great holiday light shows that have been seen in a number of cities around the world. We did our due diligence here at the Science Center. For months, we as a group were looking, interviewing, talking with a number of the top companies who do such light shows. And it was the unanimous opinion of all of us that at the end of the day, GES was the right partner for us. They just had a feel for who we were, what we wanted and needed. And they were really responsive in crafting for us a kind of light show that would complement who we are, what we do, and the landscape that their lightscape would have to enliven and bring to life. So we could not have found a better partner for this. Even though GES is creating the outdoor light show that's going to transform our zoo, the completion of the experience for our visitors is really up to us. And we relish the opportunity to take that experience and put our own Greensboro Science Center brand of hospitality on top of it. So, for instance, whether it's a visit with Santa that you're going to have that we put together, whether it's a funny, happy, lighthearted encounter that you have with one of our costumed characters that will be roaming around the zooscape, or whether it's hearing some carolers from the Greensboro City Opera, whom we've partnered with to provide some entertainment throughout the evenings, or simply having a cup of hot chocolate that's going to take the edge off a cold winter's night. All of these are those little refinements and touches that really are going to put our stamp of hospitality onto the total experience. Here at the center, we're digital storytellers. We use animations and video along with live performance to bring science stories to life. And we do that in our theaters throughout the center, as well as in the exhibitry that we have. Well, right now we're in the Omnisphere Theater, which is a space that has many faces. Sometimes it's the home for 3D movies about nature that we show. Sometimes it's a stage for laser musical light shows to the delight of audiences. But often it's a place where we showcase the unique ceiling. It's a big domed screen. So the use we're going to make of this theater when people come in from the zoo light show is to transform it into the interior of a snow globe. Adults and kids both can come in here, imagine the enchantment of being a kid themselves inside the landscape, and added to which is something they will not have seen outside in the zoo in GES Light Show. We will surround them with a troupe of singing, dancing penguins. And nothing will complete the holiday experience quite like that. The way we make all this happen is by our animators spending a lot of late nights and weekends working long hours. So GES is putting together the light show outside. We're patterning what goes inside the Snow Globe Theater after their designs, but we've only had 2D drawings immobile on a piece of paper. So our animator has taken those drawings, has then within a computer 3D environment created a three-dimensional lightscape that will be pretty faithful to what people will ultimately see outside. And then she animates the lights, makes them move. She creates models of heartwarming, endearing penguins that will surround and sing everywhere you turn. The other thing we're working on hard for a visitor experience right before you leave the Science Center to go back outside and on your way home is a North Pole environment in our brand new sales center. And the sales center is a big room arrayed with sailcloth all around it onto which we project any imagery we want, in this case the landscape of the North Pole, along with the magic of Santa's workshop. Now we're going to take that, and as people move through, they're going to see groups of singers from the Greensboro City Opera right there on those projections surrounding them. And helping doing the singing are going to be animals from our population of friends here at the Science Center, and probably additional animals from elsewhere, joining their human counterparts in singing songs of the season and wishing everyone well as they leave. So I think it's going to be an absolutely magical thing for guests to be part of. So beginning on November 6th, going through January 3rd, every evening from 5:30 to 10 or 11, depending on the day of the week, people will see our zoo transformed into a winter wonderland of lights, and we can't wait for it to get going.
The next time you visit Discovery House at the Greensboro Science Center, make sure you pay a visit to one of its newer residents, Maggie, the center's Rhino Iguana.
Maggie is our Rhino Iguana. She currently lives downstairs in what used to actually be our old Anaconda exhibit. She's been here at the Science Center since 2008. She's roughly 20 years old, we don't know for sure. She was found by some people in Burlington, some teachers, and so she lived in Burlington for a little bit before she came here. Her diet consists of lots and lots of greens, and a little bit of veggie and a little bit less fruit, and she gets that almost daily. She gets greens every day, and then the fruit and veggie about 5 times a week. Her favorite enrichments, our vet staff always laugh because we actually have dog beds, and a lot of our reptiles actually like the dog beds, but especially Maggie. When she came to us in 2008, she actually came with a dog bed, and so it was eventually had to be replaced, but she loves to lay on it, she loves to crawl under it, and she just loves the feel of the dog bed, the fluffy dog bed. She is going to be moving up here to give her more space and give her more climbing options. We're going to be able to utilize this exhibit vertically for her a little bit. This used to be our porcupine, prehensile tail porcupine exhibit, which also got a lot of use out of the vertical space. But because she's nocturnal, you didn't always necessarily see her very well. She liked to hide in her den box. So Maggie will be a lot more visible for people out here. We have to take into consideration a lot of their natural habitat, a lot of their behaviors. Are they arboreal? Are they terrestrial? Are they aquatic? Maggie comes from, that species is from Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They're known as, they're part of a group called rock iguanas, so they tend to lay out on the beaches in the bright sun, so we need to consider, especially with reptiles, UV, heat, humidity, that sort of thing. So we'll have to perch it, light it, make sure we meet all those parameters she needs. So one of the things we did is we took out all of the perching. The only thing we left in there currently is this perch, because that's one of the few things I can reuse just completely as is. I've got a couple other perches in here that I'm going to place. I've got a light fixture, so the perching is going to kind of depend on where I can set up the lighting to make sure everything's appropriate. She's got enough UV and heat. She's got a nice basking spot. She currently has a couple of really nice forked logs, branches, in her current exhibit downstairs that I would really like to be able to bring out here and reutilize in this exhibit for her. I think she's really gonna like it. She's gonna enjoy exploring, hopefully. I'm hoping she'll use the different platforms. She kind of uses her space downstairs really well right now, so I'm hoping to see a lot of that movement around and that sort of thing. Downstairs, she's mostly visible, but she is kind of in a back corner. We've had people that don't even realize they can go downstairs, so hopefully she'll be a lot more visible, and people will really like seeing the exhibit and seeing her in it.
Revolution Ridge is the Science Center's new zoo expansion, which will not only be home to new residents at the Science Center, but will also house an amazing animal health center and conservation lab.
Revolution Ridge is our new 12-acre expansion of our zoo here at the Greensboro Science Center. We are excited about bringing lots of different species here that are going to need our help in order to survive. What's happening now is we are in the heart of construction. We are over 50% complete with the construction of Revolution Ridge. So a lot of work is going on, as you can hear in the background, but the most exciting thing is we have some rock work going in, as we'll see later, with our pools and our rocks that are going to be in our exhibit for our animals. and they're going to be theming the exhibits. Our netting for the outside exhibits are going in very, very soon. Our boardwalk is almost completely installed, and all of this should be ready and hopeful for guests to come in next spring 2021. The main animal exhibits here at the Greensboro Science Center's Revolution Ridge are going to be our cassowary, our pygmy hippo, okapi, flamingos, a whole cat complex which includes black-footed cats, sand cats, fishing cats, and servals, as well as red panda exhibit. Here at Cassowary, we're very excited about the water feature that is to my left over here. We have a pool for our cassowaries to come and play in because they actually do like water. We're going to be able to look over and into the cassowary exhibit. So where you've been able to be eye to eye with our animals before, you'll actually get to have a whole different experience with overlooking the animal and the environment that it's in. So we've just left the cassowary exhibit, and now we are actually standing in the okapi exhibit. The okapi exhibit is going to be shared with the pygmy hippo. Now they will not be in together, but they will share and be next door neighbors. The okapi is the little forest giraffe. So they have those zebra racing stripes on them. They're very cool, very soft, but our guests will be able to come and see at these expanded areas that we have in our boardwalk, and then they will move on over further behind me where you probably see some concrete work going in where there's some pools for our pygmy hippo exhibit. Here at the Greensboro Science Center, we are very excited about our new residents, the pygmy hippos. They're going to have 3 actual pools in their exhibit and some waterfall features, as well as a muddy wallow. All hippos love to get in that mud and have a good time. The thing about pygmy hippos is they do like a certain temperature, so sometimes they're going to be inside. And so our guests can experience what those hippos are doing inside, we've also built a very nice indoor pool that the guests will be able to walk up and see our hippos not only on the land in the exhibit, but underwater. So that is a very exciting feature we're glad to bring here. So we have just left the pygmy hippo exhibit, and now we have come inside the Shear Animal Health Center, as well as the Tannenbaum Conservation Labs. So it's a 2-in-1 building where you will be able to get a look into some of the things that the Greensboro Science Center does that you may not know about. When you come into this building, on the right are going to be 2 conservation labs. In the first lab, we are going to talk about mussels because we have been doing a lot of work with NC State as well as the North Carolina Wildlife Commission to get mussels, and they need our help, get them in a good place so they can go back into the streams and make the water system healthy. We're also going to be doing some research with UNCG, and that will be displayed in our second conservation lab. On the left of the building is where a lot of animal health work is being done. And what is going to be unique about this is you're going to get a bird's eye view of as much or as little as you would like to see. You'll be able to see into the treatment rooms, into the radiology room, so you can see all the x-rays being done, all those good things. Then you'll also be able to see into our surgery. When we have to do surgery on our animals, our vet staff will be able to determine if that's appropriate for it to be seen, and they will actually be able to talk to and answer questions that our guests may have while they're doing that surgery. Another cool thing is while they're doing the surgery, they will be able to live broadcast that to other colleges and universities that we're going to partner with. That's very exciting for us. But then we also have our final stop, which is our necropsy room. That is basically an autopsy for animals. And when that is done here at the center, guests will be able to go in and see that. If it is appropriate, they have the choice as to whether they want to go see that or not. It's in an alcove, and they can make that determination based on their preferences. The building behind me on my left, the furthest one away, is our flamingo exhibit. We are very excited about the flamingo exhibit because they're going to have a pool that they can go into, a sandy beach that they can make their nest on, and then an interior space that also has a pool and some sandy beach for them. Our cat complex is going to be the home to 4 different species of cats. And we did come up with some unique ways to have our guests interact with our animals, especially at the cat complex. They will have overhead shift tunnels in our serval and black-footed cat areas. All of these areas have plenty of room for our pairs of cats to grow and have babies and house all those families harmoniously. So we've made our way over to Red Panda exhibit. This is going to be your last exhibit that you'll have to see in Revolution Ridge here at the Greensboro Science Center. The exciting thing about our Red Panda exhibit is you will be able to view them indoors as well as outdoors, and they have 2 outdoor exhibits. They also have some overhead shift tunnels between those 2 exhibits. So the great news is Mom and cubs can be in the far exhibit while Dad hangs out in the exhibit closest to the building. Plenty of room for our animals to have babies and have plenty of space inside, but we're very excited, have a lot of climbing structures for these animals, a lot of theming going on. So we can't wait for you to join us here and see the red pandas in action. Thanks for coming on the tour with me today of Revolution Ridge. We really look forward to having you come and experience this yourself. Our animals are also going to be excited to see you too, so hope to see you soon.